You have to take into consideration if you are a young player going to your dream school to play for a coach and or develop under a coach that you know is going to develop you. I think you have to take that into consideration depending on what the scholarship is. If those three things aren't part of the equation, or you only have one of those three, or then I really think you have to concentrate on what is the best option for your development. And look, there's some kids that can afford the opportunity to, take a bonus year, redshirt year, and because they want to be at a particular program with a particular coach. And I get that. But if you're not that guy and that's not your dream school, and you feel like, and there's a track record of that coach developing players and guys that have been there for 2, 3 years, you really have to hit pause, because at the end of the day, if you're not on the field getting true game action. I'm not talking about sim games in the fall or anything like that, or getting in your eighth inning at bat in a 12-0 game against a Division 3 opponent. That's not development. You're not developing. And unfortunately, Dave, I've said this to you as well, off air. Unfortunately, with the way the carousel is for coaching today, outside of the Tim Corbins of the world, Tony Vitello's and the like, right? Guys that have success and have stature and whatever. Outside of that, that carousel turns very rapidly. And if you're not winning, you're gone. And that's the biggest problem. Coaches realize they're getting hired and fired quicker than any other time in college baseball history. That's just a fact. That's what's happening. And those coaches that are coming into programs, they need to make an impact. You think they're going to make an impact immediately by going with, 8 freshmen and saying, "I'll take my chances with the kids." They're not. They're going into the portal. That's exactly what they're doing. Look at UCF. Rich Wallace came in midsummer. They knew they were going to the Big 12. They had to compete immediately. And what's he do? He goes out and gets veteran guys to play, and it's worked out for UCF. You got freshmen that were there, highly touted freshmen, recruits that got zero at bats this year. Zero. And that tells you something. And these are kids that were really highly touted prospects going out of high school at UC or into UCF under Greg Lovelady. But that's the thing you have to keep in mind. How long's that coach been there? What's their track record for developing players? To me, that's the biggest question you can ask as a parent. Are you going to be able to develop my son? Because he's not a finished product. Very few guys are finished products when they step on a field. You mentioned Todd Helton and those type of players. Those guys are freaks of nature. Everyone needs some sort of development, and I think that's the biggest question that some parents need to ask before they commit their kid to possibly having to sit 1 year redshirting and then re-entering the whole transfer portal situation.